and welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today we are going to be designing some clip art, basically from the ground up. Well, more or less from the ground up. I'm going to be using my playbook, and I'm actually going to be starting with a prompt that is actually inside as an example inside the playbook, just so I can kind of give you an idea how that works. We're going to be incorporating and utilizing some of the word banks and phrases to get different types of styles of that clip art. I've been wanting to do a clip art pack, a circus themed clip art pack. And so I'm going to show you basically how we can create a vintage pack, how we can do like a cartoon illustration pack, how you can apply different styles to your clip art pack. And we're going to do it all using the tools inside of Artistly 4, as well as, of course, my AI Artist Playbook. And so we're going to get started. So this is probably not going to be one of the shorter videos because I'm not really doing this with a script. So if we have images that come out that aren't just right, that's going to be normal. That's how it works in any AI platform. You cannot expect that every single image is going to be one you're going to want to use. That's part of the process. So we're going to actually be starting inside the advanced designer this time. And so the reason I'm doing that to show you this, now that does not mean you cannot take that prompt and copy it and paste it into the fast version. But for the video, for me to be working like this and talking and everything, it will keep me from having to make those images private, because the ones that you create inside the advanced are going to be private automatically. So we're not going to have to worry about that part of it. So anyway, so let's get in. We're going to go to Create Design. We're going to go over into the Advanced AI Image Designer. And what we're going to do is we're going to do Start Creating, and we're going to name our project Circus Fun. Okay. And we're going to leave this here as the square because that's what I create most of my clip art using, unless it's something like floral where I needed a different shape. So anyway, so we're inside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my playbook, and I actually do kind of have it flipped over to the clip art section. And this is just going to help us with some ideas on circus and carnival clip art. This is one of the pages. So we're going to use this example prompt just to get started. Now, we're going to take I'm going to copy it. Okay, so we're going to take a look at it, and let me just blow this up a little bit so that you can see it. Okay, so a retro circus themed digital illustration featuring a red and white striped big top tent, golden carnival lights, and colorful festive bunting, hand drawn in a vintage inspired cartoon style. Okay, so take a look at this. My prompt will not look anything like it when I get done with it, but this is a place that we can start. So if you own the playbook, don't feel like you can't have a place to start, especially if you're a beginner in the world of AI art prompting. You're going to want to start somewhere, have a place to start. If you have writer's block and you just are looking at the blank screen in your prompting window, don't worry about it. Just start with a prompt and then change it. Don't feel like you have to start and know how to word it exactly by yourself. And we're still going to end up with something very, very unique. So don't worry about that. We're going to, like I said, this is going to be our starting point, but we're going to change it up. So We've copied this. What we're going to do now is go back into Artistly and open our little AI window here, and we are going to paste this in. Now, let me explain something about the AI Artist Playbook. Okay, so the AI Artist Playbook was not written specifically for Artistly. It is a very general um, book. It's meant to help anybody with any platform learn to prompt and have a complete book full of phrases and word banks and things that they can mix and match to create their own styles, because that is really what I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to be an AI artist and not just somebody that uses AI to create images. Because part of the pushback against AI, and it's legitimate, is that people using the AI, they're letting the computer, the AI is doing all the work. And that is just simply not my experience. My experience is that if you see truly pretty, unique images and people that are successful doing that, they're putting in the extra time to give their art an extra oomph, that extra element, and that's the human element in it. You can use AI and just tell it something, and sometimes you're going to get some crazy things. Even when you're trying to prompt, you're going to come up with some crazy things, and that just makes it even more evident that it still requires that human element and that we can use it as a tool, and then we will make ourselves as AI artists stand out among, in the fluff of all of the noise that is out there and so many images. We can carve a little spot for ourselves. And that's what the AI Artist Playbook was kind of designed to do. It started out as a resource for myself, and it was just too good not to share to my fellow creators, because we're all going to use the elements differently. And I'm loving in my group the various examples of people using it and the art that they decide to make with it. It's just amazing. So I'm really excited that people are getting so much use out of the playbook. So anyway, so let's get started playing, because that's really kind of what it is. So I'm going to start with this. Now, some of the example prompts, because it was not written specifically for Artistly, if you use Artistly, they may or may not turn out to be, you may need to tweak them and shift around the wording. It doesn't mean the prompt can't work in Artistly. It just means that every AI art platform reads things differently, and sometimes where in the prompt certain aspects of it are placed make a difference. So we're just going to go ahead and generate this image to see where we're starting. And of course, you know that it takes a little bit longer inside the advanced, but it does cut out some steps that when you're in fast, you don't have to do. You don't have to make it private and everything. So I just use that time to do other things. Okay, so we've got a cute image now that starts us off very well. This is a very cute little um, tent, a circus tent, and it is very retro looking. So what we can do with the tent now is we can play around with um, different aspects of it. So we don't really want the background on it. So let's see what we have to do to remove the background first. Now I haven't added anything else from the playbook yet. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and I'm actually going to move this hand-drawn in a vintage-inspired cartoon style. We're going to move that just to see what we get and move it right here to the beginning. I'm going to eliminate the quotes, and we are going to play with it just a little bit. We're going to put a little comma there. We're going to pull this back up, and we're going to redo it. Now, we don't have to work. We can save this. I typically would. I would go ahead and export this but right now I'm going to go back and do that just so I save some time. So here you would save it and then you can delete the image. So I'm going to delete that image. I'm going to generate again. And we're going to see what changing the location of that last phrase to the front is going to do to the image. And this is a prompting workshop. So, okay. So we still got a really great image. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add isolated against a white background. Okay. Now, what I want you to see is that you have to go back and make sure you're getting a background. So if you're getting a background, make sure that when you change it, that you also are not leaving something that would tell it to put a background in it when you do the isolated against the white background. What's going to happen is one's going to cancel out the other one, and usually the background's going to override the isolation of onto the white background. So we're going to see if that works. Now, I typically remove my backgrounds anyway because even if it has a white background on it, it's going to still need to be removed to make it, a transparent PNG. But um, it makes it easier. See, we got what we wanted. So here we have a really cute image, and I forgot to delete that one somewhere. I'm going to go here and delete it. But this would be a really good image for a pack, a clip art pack for my circus clip art pack. Okay, so we've got a really cute image here. Now, you can remove the backgrounds using the Artistly tool. This is the background remover. You have to select it, of course, and then it's a little odd the way it does it. But we can remove that background. That's a really nice image there, though. Okay, so now we have, this is you can put let's see, let's put a shape in, and I'll show you that that did remove the background. We're going to take that and we're going to send it back. See? So, whoops. You can see that it did remove the background. Now, anything really complicated, Artistly is just not equipped to handle it. But if you wanted to do it that way, you can and utilize that aspect of it. Okay, so we have our first transparent image here. Okay. Now, like I said, normally I would export this, so we'll just go ahead and export it, and this is how it's going to open up for you. Okay, so now we're going to go on, and now we have a really cute tent. Now we're going to play with making it even more retro and vintage looking. So here is where we go into the playbook. Now, this is like a cheat sheet I did for myself. I just pulled out some of the terms and phrases that I use a lot in different aspects like color and stuff. So I made this for myself, pulling out parts of the playbook. So these are all in the playbook. It's just things I have pulled out to make it quicker for me to use in my demonstrations. So what we're going to do now is we are going back in there because I did it very fast and you probably didn't see what I was doing. So this faded vintage palette, washed out aged tones, we're going to copy that from the playbook. And if you were just in here, you would just, you'd copy and paste from that part of it. Like I said, I pulled it out. It's not in this section. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to take out the cartoon style. And says hand drawn in a vintage inspired style. And we are actually going to put it at the end. I used to try it at the end just not to clutter up the beginning of the prompt, but we may move it around if we're not getting the exact look that we want. So we're going to use that faded vintage palette and see what we get. Okay, so you can see, and what we're going to do is we're going to put these beside each other so you can see that it did make a difference. You've got the retro look, but this did with the colors, it does make them a little bit more vintagey looking. So I'm going to delete both of these and we're going to go a layer deeper than that because I want to get a really good vintage look. Now, this does not address any, in here, it doesn't have any style as far as the type of art that we're getting. So now what I'm going to do is go to the front or the beginning of the prompt, and I'm going to type watercolor. And now we're going to, I left all the rest of it, and we are going to now generate and see what type of difference that makes. I should have left those up there probably, but that's okay. We'll pull them out in a little bit and we'll see what we get. Okay. So the watercolor does make a difference and it is giving us way more of what we are looking for as far as the real vintage look. And again, you can take and remove that background. There we go. There we go. So now we have this more vintagey look. But we're not finished. We want to go back and we're going to make this smaller and then we're going to keep comparing. Okay. So I want even more vintage. So, okay. So we've got hand drawn in a vintage inspired style, a retro circus themed digital illustration. I'm going to take the digital illustration out. Okay. So now hopefully it's going to be more of a watercolor than a digital design. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Faded vintage palette. I'm actually going to try moving this to the beginning. And this was one of the phrases that we just copied. I'm going to show you a couple of other things that we can do while we're making our pack. Now we're getting there. If you see that we have more the dingier sort of you know, look, and we can compare right away and see that by moving that to the front and changing to watercolor, we're getting a much more vintage look out of it. Now, this one still has that white background in there, but it is a white background, but we can eliminate that as well if we want to go ahead and remove that background. Now, most of you know that I use Pixel Cut because typically when I do my clip art, I'm doing a lot of images at the same time, and I want to make sure that, um, see, there we go. So, so it just depends on how you want your image to look. Okay, so there we go. Now we have that one. Okay. So now we kind of have the layout for our vintage look that we're wanting, and now we are going to have some magic happen. We're going to stay for a few minutes in the retro theme, and then we're going to change that up, and I'm going to experiment with some different styles for you. Okay, so we have our we have our tent, and now we want to go and find our subject, which is the retro circus theme featuring the red and white striped big top tent. Okay. We're going to change this part, the tent, okay? And this is pretty much our subject. Okay. So in order to remove that, we're going to need to go all the way down because we don't want any of this. We're going to go all the way to the isolated. Okay, and now I have it highlighted and I'm going to start typing. I want a lion. So it's going to feature a lion wearing a fabric, let's see, polka dot fabric ruffle around his neck, standing on a circus platform inside a circus tent. Okay, so hopefully we'll get the interior and not outside where there are flowers and stuff, but we'll see. We can tweak it. Okay, so we're changing the subject now, and hopefully it will still render in this vintage look that we have gotten on here so that it helps to match our clip art pack. And I'm going to, I think, go ahead and I keep wanting to drag it over like you do in Canva, but that doesn't work. So, okay, so that's cute. Very cute. Okay, so now we have our lion. He's standing in front of a tent. That's not exactly what the image I was expecting to get, but it's very cute and it would definitely go with our pack. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away. Now, let me just show you this new thing that Canva has done. Now, the reason I'm not saving my prompts is because it is saving them for me and I can go back later to them. So, okay, so now we have our lion with our polka dots. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we are going to change it up even more and we are going to see if we can get two lions, like a lioness and or a baby. Let's do a baby lion. Okay, so instead of a lion, we are going to featuring a lion and lion cub, both wearing polka dot fabric ruffles around their neck and standing on a circus platform inside a circus tent. Well, it didn't do exactly inside the tent, but that's okay. We're just going to see what we get. That's part of the magic is seeing what you get. So hopefully we'll get two lions instead of just the one. And I don't know, because like I said, they say live TV, this is video. And unless it's a really, really bad mistake, you're going to see it in its raw. Oh, how cute. Now, you can't really see whether this lion has one, but that's a cute image. So that definitely would go in my pack. Very cute, very cute. And the fact that the big lion, I can't see whether it has a ruffle or not is not a big deal. I like that image. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change it up even more. Now this one, it didn't put in front of the tent, but that's okay too. It still works. So, AI is that way. Sometimes it's going to deliver things that you don't expect. Sometimes they're going to be better than what you expect. So I do like this, especially with the little hearts and stuff around it. That's cute. So now what we're going to do is we are going to change it out featuring we're going to leave the polka dotted, let's see, we're going to change it to an elephant. And posing on top of a small circus, or let's do standing on top. Let's see. Standing on top of a, whoops, we've got our polka dot fabric ruffle that we've got to move back up here. Okay. With a polka dot fabric ruffle around his neck. I'm going to delete this. Standing on a circus platform inside a circus tent, isolated against. Okay, so let's try this one. Now, obviously, if I'm doing this, these are just for so we can look and reference how our pack is doing. This is not the way I would export them. I would do them individually because if you do them small like this or in a like this, you're going to have to break them apart and everything. So this is just for illustrative purposes. Oh, how cute. Awesome. Okay, I've had people ask me about these little things right here, writing that appears in AI. They're artifacts. For instance, I'm gonna go ahead and download this one, and then we are going to take it in, and I'm gonna show you what I do. Well, number one, we're gonna take the object remover. Got to select it first. It's selected. We're going to go over here to object remover. Now, I typically do all of this inside of Canva. I don't do it inside, but you can use the Artistly feature to remove just a little something if you just don't want to bother with it in Canva. I have done it in the past. Okay. So, well, see, it doesn't look like it removed it. Let's try one more time. That's one reason I don't use it that much is because I don't think it's quite perfected. It works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it did it that time. So now we're going to click on this to make it. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to export the image as PNG. You could do JPEG if you wanted to. I do the PNGs because most of mine are going to be transparent. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and I'm going to show you how you can do a little test here. You can go here to search by image and you can upload the file or you can paste a whatever. And then Google is going to go through and it's going to look and you can click exact matches and you will see that there is no exact match for my image. So if that makes you feel better, then you can check out your images. I've done it a lot and I've never found an image that look just like it. So you're going to come up with other images that are maybe similar or what Google thinks are similar. But as you see, and in a lot of times when it comes up with these things, I'm like, oh, my image looks so much better than those. So it's kind of a neat thing. Okay, so So we're back into Artistly now, and we have our little image, which is super cute. And we can put our little elephant here. And so we've got already 5 images for our pack. Okay, it'd be lovely if we had another one and we could kind of work with it. So we don't. So I'm going to make these a little smaller just so we can remember what we've got in each little place here. And now what we're going to do, now I will probably continue making my objects and stuff for my clip art pack. I'm going to do something more inanimate just so that you can see that you can do that. So we're going to go retro circus themed theme featuring an elephant with polka dot We're going to we're going to ask it to do a carnival game. I'm not sure what it's going to come up with, but we're just going to try to get one of those little carnival games. I'm going to show you some other elements that we could do using, and we're basically using the same prompt. We're changing the subject once we get our style down and our coloring right. This could easily have, could be done in the cartoon style that we started out with. Okay, so this is just a tent. So that phrasing didn't work really well, but it's still a neat tent that we can use. So we're gonna have to be more specific. So let's see. Let's go and Google and then common carnival games. Now you could do this in Chat GPT or whatever too. Let's just do duck pond carnival game. What would be a good one to show? Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Balloon darts. Okay, let's try that one. Okay, so let's go back down here. And we're going to have to be more specific. So, carnival game, let's see, themed carnival balloon pop game. Set up in a midway style tent. Okay. I'm not sure what we're going to get with that. That's just me kind of playing with it. Now, when I'm doing my pack, okay, well, we got a different image. It's still not giving us what we want, but I would say I'll continue to play with that and see if I can figure out the correct wording to get the little games and stuff for that. That's going to take a little bit more work, so I won't make y'all watch that, but I would use that image. Okay, so what I'll do is I will go back and I will be like for the elephant and maybe another one with this lion, single lion. I will make those individual, not standing on the platforms to do my pack. So I will adjust those prompts to get those top images. Other images I probably would add would be like maybe a Ferris wheel, maybe a merry-go-round type thing with the animals on it and stuff. So stay tuned, watching my Etsy shop. Who knows what I'll come up with. But anyway, so for our demonstration here, now we're going to go beyond the vintage. And I'm going to show you more how to use and change up. So while we're still in the vintage, we're going to try some unique combinations. Okay, so we've got faded vintage palette, washed out aged tones. And we're going to go back over here and we're just going to play with some of these other colors and see what we get. Okay, so back in here, we're going to go and we're going to put this at the back. I'm going to paste this in. and generate from there. And this, of course, is the tent. So we're just going to see what we get. We're just going to leave it like that just to, because now we're mostly just doing a demonstration on utilizing the style and colors and the different treatments to whatever prompt that you have. So, okay. So let's look at the difference between adding that and what we got with this one. So this is what we used. Let's see the difference here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete these out, most of them. Okay. So that we can concentrate more on what we're getting. Okay. So this is the new prompt to the left and the other one to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow it up so you can we can kind of see better. Okay. So we added it to the back end of the prompt. And so there's not a lot of difference. You can see that the difference is mostly in the tones of the colors that you're getting in the balloons. These are a little crisper, and this one's a little bit more in the naturals because obviously that was the colors we told it to do. So very cool. Now we're going to move it to the front of the prompt and see what that does. This is where you come in as that human element to get just the right thing. Think about it like an artist that has paintbrushes and they have their water and they have their different types of paint, and they use different brush strokes and such. So, okay, so moving it to the front definitely changed the balloons up a little bit. And we did get a much different treatment here for that. So, and that was with that color treatment. Okay. And I'm going to enlarge it so you can see the difference here. You see that this has more of a brown tone to it, and the coloring is just different. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to erase that now or delete that now. Okay. And we actually, I didn't even put the earthly neutrals in there. It was still at the back. So we're going to go back into the playbook and we're going to do the cool blues and greens, this oceanic vibes. And we're going to do, we'll start them in the front. Okay. And like I mentioned before, see how cool. Now, I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I love that. And oh my gosh. So now let's play with that because I really like that. We're going to move into a whole different design mode here. Okay. So I really love that oceanic look. So now we're going to go back and I am going to grab this image here. And I'm sorry, not the image. We don't want the image. We want, okay, we want the prompt. Let's see. Here's our prompt. Okay, copy. And we are going to go back in here. And what I'm going to do rather than cancel out all of what we've got because we want to keep this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take and add this here. And what I'm going to do is now take our subject out because everything else is the way we want it. So we're going to just copy that and then I'm going to erase this. And then I'm going to go back up here, find this Midway style tint, and I'm going to paste in our elephant. And then we're going to see what the change in the coloring does. This is where you're going to see the amazing potential and just unlimited possibilities to adding your own touch and creating something totally special is by changing your colors, changing your textures. Okay, so now we've got something totally different that's going to go with our oceanic. Now, who would have thought that you could take and make such a cute pack using cool blues and greens, serene oceanic vibes? I mean, who would have thought? But to me, this would set my pack out apart from other people that are just using the traditional circus colors, and it would appear it's very vintage, very, very vintage looking to have the different colors. So now let's see what it does with our, okay, so let's find our lion where he was at. Let's find him. There he is. And we're going to do the same thing. This time, just to save time, we're going to just copy just what we want. Okay. Circus platform. We're going to leave out the tent part. Okay, so we're going to copy that. So you don't have to copy the whole prompt. You can select. It will allow you to select just parts of it. We're going to take it back into here. Find our subject and replace that now with our lion. And then hopefully it's going to turn out just as cute. I'll be honest with you, this is probably the color scheme that I will work with for my pack because I think it's unusual and different and would be really cute for birthday, a circus birthday theme. Yep, really cute. Now, I might would see it's so cute. So very cute. Very, 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 very cute. And I can remove the backgrounds and that will be so super cute. Okay. So we've got a lion here. Let's do it one more time. I want to see what, because you can. I mean, if you want multiple elephants, but you don't like the look of the elephant, this just rerun the prompt, obviously, and see what you get. A lot of times I'll run those multiple times just to see what I'm getting. And we're going to do one this time that tries to take him off the platform. Oh, wow. He's funny looking. Y'all, I actually like him. I know he's weird, but I like him. He's different. So he's sort of a funky lion. He didn't turn out anything like what I was expecting. Let's do another one. Looks like somebody dumped him in some blue ink, but he's still cute. Oh, wow. So you can get some funky images. The first one is the best one, but these right here could be in a whole separate pack all by themselves. They could be, I don't know. I'll have to think on what they can be. Okay, so I'm going to take these, make them smaller. We're going to put him right here. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can get him off the platform. So we're going to remove the platform and see if we can get one that's okay, just by itself, just the lion standing. Okay, well, If we do that, because didn't tell it to stand, or, yeah, we removed the standing, we would have to adjust that. Okay, so a retro circus themed theme. Let's change that theme. Featuring a lion wearing a polka dot fabric ruffle around his neck, which we got. Standing in a patch of grass. Let's see what that does. Sometimes you just have to be specific. Let's see if that gets the full lion. I think that's one of the banes to our creative existence, is having to be so specific to try to keep it from cutting off. Or there we go. There's our cute lion. He is so cute and very vintage looking. I could just see this on lots of little cute vintage items. Very super cute. Okay. So now we're going to move on, and we are going to now, and we're just going to move that there and this one up here. Now we're going to take the same image and we're going to apply a different texture. Okay, so there's so many different things we can do brush strokes. So let's try this loose expressive strokes and see what that does to it. We're going to try it on the back end first, and then we'll play with the placement of where it is. I move things all around in my prompts. You all see the end results, but you don't see all the work that goes behind them, and all the tweaking and the things that I do to get just the right images that are my personal. Oh, he is cute. He is very cute. I love that style. I like the image. Now I know he's blue and everything. He is pretty. I love him. Now this is with a different brush stroke. So if people tell you that you can't paint using brushes with AI, they're wrong, because you can see the difference in the style here. So now, of course, I've got to apply that to let's see, one of our tents maybe. Let's go in and look at that. Now, we still have the cool blues and greens and everything. So we have that. Now, I could fine tune this and make it where the lion is his proper colors. And really and truly, if we run it again, we may end up with a totally different, the colors may be different. We can also flip the colors to the back end and see what that does. So we'll just play with it. But I love the design and that different treatment. Okay, so we're still getting the colors. We got a different looking lion, different looking ruffle from that one. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try moving the cool blues and stuff, all of this. We're going to move this to down here and see if that makes a difference in the coloring of the lion. But I actually really kind of like this. I like the color. Don't ask me why, but I like the treatment. And I do love the treatment of changing um, the brush stroke. Yes, that did it. Okay. So there we go. So there we really have a very vintage look. Okay, so I think that I have drawn this out and showed you so many different ways that you can utilize the playbook. And I hope that if you don't already have a copy, you'll run and get one. Right now, I have extended my 50% off sale. It was due to expire and I have renewed it. So go take advantage of that while you can. If it may or may not still be available, depending on when in the future you might be watching this particular video. But all my links for my link for Artistly, my link to my work, my Facebook group is down in the description. So you've got my Facebook group, you've got a link to my Artistly affiliate link, you've got a link to Etsy, my Etsy shop, so you can look at all of my cool clip art that I sell. And you also can purchase the playbook. I have some other things on there as well that are really good for creators. So I hope you'll also favorite my shop and visit often. I have some new things in the works that I'm really excited about, and I think that will definitely continue to help you um, as you begin to create your designs using the AI platforms or, learn to do your prompting to create your own designs. I think it'll be great. So, anyway, I'm trying now to create things that are going to help you and help you make more money. So, anyway, I hope you'll stay tuned. I hope you'll leave me a comment. I hope that you will like and share the videos and my channel and my group. Just help me spread the word so that others, creators just like us, can have some good information and learn how to do what they do better. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll just see you next time.